Sifuna is on his way out of ODM. The way things are going, the way we are getting attacks right, left, and center, there's a lot of cold war that is taking place in ODM. Why am I saying so? We all know that Edwin Sifuna has been a strong critic of the government. He goes out on various media stations to speak against various things that are happening right now as we speak in the government. To just give an example, he was among the major critics of the Adani deal that was supported by Raila Amolo Odinga, his party leader, and of course the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto. Edwin Sifuna, together with Senator Nyonka, questioned and came out strongly to speak against the abductions the Adani deal. Edwin Sifuna has come out to speak against the finance bill. He also came out to speak against the abductions. So talking about high taxation in this country. All the issues that are affecting the common mananchi have been tackled by Edwin Sifuna. And of course, together with other few members of ODM. Edwin Sifuna has insisted that that ODM is not working in the government. They just took some part of ODM and joined them in government, and therefore those are the only people who are in government. But the rest of the ODM party, they're outside government and they're doing the opposition the way they're supposed to do. However, now, actually, there's a time there was a call by President William Ruto asking members of parliament of ODM to go to State House. And when Aladwa reached to Sifuna, Sifuna declined that kind of an offer. And as a result, Edwin Sifuna went ahead to speak about it publicly. So, when he went to speak about it publicly, Aladwa did not come out to answer. But now, recently, President William Ruto was in Nairobi. I think Edwin Sifuna was missing in action. But the president was there, members of parliament of ODM, including Aladwa and the governor of Nairobi. And in this forum, Edwin Sifuna was not present. He did not give the speech. I did not see him talking about it. So as a result, Aladwa took into stage to speak about the issues to do with, of course, none other than Edwin Sifuna. He answered him and said, President ukituita tunakuja. Wanya wanaongea mambo ya ODM sisi tuko na wewe. Those are in my own words by the statement of who? Aladwa. This person, that is Aladwa, is trying to counter Edwin Sifuna against his stand of opposing the government issues. Aladwa is speaking from a point of being Raila Amolo Odinga's soldier. And is checking from what Raila Amolo Odinga stands for. It's very clear that Aladwa, as we speak today, is speaking from Raila Amolo Odinga's point of view. And Edwin Sifuna is probably the out guy, the odd one out here. So it's very important that Edwin Sifuna now tries to be very careful. Probably might be removed from the party before 2025 or before the end of 2025. Because when you see a statement from Aladwa, and then you see that members of parliament of ODM were there. Of course, not so many. We had Jalango was present, Alai, and other MCS were present, of course, in Nairobi. But we did not see some other MPs present as well. But the fact remains that Edwin Sifuna is speaking a point that is important, but Aladwa is passing a message that is dangerous to Edwin Sifuna. Now, recently, there was a statement that was made by Edwin Sifuna. And I want you guys to listen to this statement.
Rais lazima heshimiwe. Watu waache kwenda kwa TV kutukana rais kusema tu huyo ni one time president. Wewe wacha baba kwe president next month. Mtajua mjui. Chikuka alienda saa ngapi State House? Usiku, si ndio? Sisi tutaenda usiku. Rais tuite any time. Sisi ndio watu wako.
Now that means very well that Edwin Sifuna, he knows that the ground is not with President William Ruto. And is speaking the truth and is warning President William Ruto and Raila Amolo Odinga combined. What is he saying? He's saying that in 2022, ODM had the deep state, the alleged deep state. And despite of all that, they had to go campaign and use a lot of money. But regardless of the use of money, it's very clear that eventually to the election day, William Ruto beat them by 250,000 votes. According to me, I say that Raila Amolo Odinga lost almost 1 million votes. Why am I saying so? Raila Amolo Odinga scored almost the amount of votes that he had been scoring before, despite having a new base that he was to gain more, about 1 million plus. That is the Mount Kenya region. So if he gained Mount Kenya, and then he lost other regions, that means the amount of votes that he gained from Mount Kenya came to replace the amount of, the amount of votes that he lost from Mount Kenya came to replace the amount of votes, he gained from Mount Kenya, yes, came to replace the amount of votes he lost from his strong bases like Mombasa and Homa Bay and even Kisii and some other parts of this region, of this country. So Raila Amolo Odinga lost immensely because he maintained almost the same range of votes that he had been getting before when Uhuru Kenyatta was in power, when Uhuru Kenyatta was competing with him. And now that Uhuru Kenyatta had banked all the Mount Kenya votes, then probably now Uhuru, now in 2022, supported Raila Amolo Odinga, gave him 1 million votes. Then Raila Amolo Odinga did not protect his part, his strong bases. So that means he lost 1 million votes, according to me. So therefore, Edwin Sifuna is putting a very clear point that despite having the deep state, the incumbent and the sitting president supporting Raila Amolo Odinga, still they lost the seat to William Ruto. And he's saying that it's not because they did not prepare themselves well. It is because the ground was not, the people were not with them. That's why they considered President William Ruto. The people did not see them as a good option. The people felt like they have not handled their issues. And it is true because at that time, we had unga at 250 almost. At that time, we had the cost of fuel going up. We had scarcity of fuel in the country. We had issues to do with unga at times being said to be subsidized, but it was not there. Cost of electricity was high. The cost of oil, cooking oil was high. The cost of sugar was high. So in all these circumstances, Kenyans felt like the government of Uhuru Kenyatta had of course abandoned its people. And apart from that, it had failed in its mandate on solving some of these small issues that matter to the common mananchi. So therefore, they lost favor from the common mananchi, especially towards the end of the election, because Raila Amolo Odinga was now associated with Uhuru Kenyatta's government because they were in a handshake for 5 years. That was very clear that they could not completely disassociate themselves from what Uhuru Kenyatta was doing. So as a result, we realized that William Ruto was able to capitalize on those mistakes that the government was making because he was considered himself the opposition or the outsider. And as a result, we realized Raila Amolo Odinga lost the elections at that time. I don't know what is your take as far as this is concerned, but the fact remains that Raila Amolo Odinga lost the election as a result of missing the favor of the people the way it was required. So it is very clear that what Edwin Sifuna is saying, that if they don't take care of the common mananchi, probably they won't support William Ruto and win. They will support William Ruto and go with him at home. I don't know what's your take, guys, as far as this is concerned, but I feel strongly that the contradicting opinion of Edwin Sifuna to the ODM party and the ODM members is putting his job at risk. Probably is going home. See you next time for more videos. Please let me see your comments on what you think about Edwin Sifuna's stand in ODM.